Cheers, I do, buckaroos. How the heck are you? Switch to wine here this evening. As I'm learning to be a wine guy, this one is becoming my go-to. It's the one single bottle that I bought the most of since we started drinking wine. It is the St. James Norton, estate-grown Norton from their Explorer collection. It is 13%. I'm going to read a little bit from their website. Oh, I just lost it there. Norton estate-grown grapes are aged in oak for 18 months, creating elegantly structured, full-bodied dry red wine, rich and warm of flavors and aromas of berries, vanilla, and bittersweet chocolate. This complex dry red wine. Yeah, and I got to tell you, before I read that description, that's exactly what I was getting from this. What I noticed right off was a mix of bittersweet chocolate and berries. Of course, you're going to get some vanilla from that much oak. Oh, it's just amazing. I feel like I'm also picking up some plum notes in there besides the berry note. As I celebrate the end of a week, it's one of those weeks, man. Got off work, had an appointment I had to go to directly after work. After that, I was so drained. I just didn't feel like cooking. My wife had a rough couple days. She had to help my daughter with some things for the last 2 days, so I knew she was going to want some wine. So I put in an order at a local store uh, for the wine she likes and the wine I like. I paid for it online, picked it up as soon as I was done with everything, put an online order for a pizza. I had a coupon. Yeah, I got a coupon. Yeah. I'm all about the discount. So I got a large. I got a large pizza with Italian sausage and black olives and some cinnamon, whatever they call them. Although the way it looks, they look a whole lot different in the picture because I was buying from the picture. It looks a little different, but anyway. Bottom line is I got everything for $10. It was under $10, so well, what the hell. And I didn't have to cook tonight. I could relax, come home, have myself a pizza while I was waiting for my wife to get home, and a little bit of wine. I really do like this one. I do. I like this one a lot. But I'm trying to drink wine the same way, or at least approach wine the same way I approach beer, meaning I try to buy as local as humanly possible for the most part, and I try to stay with the little guys, right? I mean, I don't want to go into my big box store and buy the names we all know, right? Since May, my wife and I have hit, I believe, 12 small wineries. Say one. Let me make sure I'm not. 1, 2, 7, maybe 11. Might be just 11. But yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to go into the stores and buy those names everybody knows for the most part, although I have tried a few. I really am trying to embrace it the same way I embrace craft beer, which is try to support the small wineries. Local and somewhat not local. I mean, St. James is St. James, Missouri. It's about 2 hours from here, so it's local adjacent. And then what we tried over last weekend was Ozark Hills. It's just an outlet center there. They're all based out of Altus, Arkansas. So, but again, I'm trying to support those smaller operations and not the big ones. The same way I approach craft beer. But yeah, for me, I get a lot of big chocolate, bittersweet chocolate, and berry notes. I think in another video I might have described it as like a baker's chocolate. But yeah, you certainly get a lot of vanilla running all the way through. just like the big full-bodied wine. It's a good end of the evening wine. For me, it was the middle of the day. Yeah, I mean, I haven't drank a lot at a time, but I just kind of enjoy sipping it. I'm approaching it possibly the same way I approach a great big barrel aged barley wine or yeah, barrel aged imperial stout. You know, it's at about 13% here, so yeah. So I'm taking it. I'm taking the same precautions. It is a little different. I do approach it as a beer guy, so I'm coming at it from a slightly different angle. We did a tasting over the weekend at Ozark Hills, and the guy doing the tasting was very good, very friendly. He'd only been there a short time, but he seemed very knowledgeable, so they must train their people well. But I came up with a couple flavors that were a little bit different than the descriptor, so he had to go back and try them himself. It's okay, now I see that. I'm coming at it from a little bit different place. But it is kind of enjoyable to do these small tastings, these small winery tastings. And it's funny is all of the wineries that we've been to, seems like everybody has a slightly different approach to it. The two Branson wineries, as you might suspect, were a little bit more on the trend or the touristy side. You could tell they were catering to tourists. And the prices reflect that. But again, the both of them that we went to had quite different styles. The second one, Ozark Hills, I mean, you had to go to do a tasting. You had to go through their museum tour first, and then they put you in a room and do the tastings. They charge $5 for the tastings. I think you pick 5 or 6. I can't remember which now. I think it was 5 actually. But anyway, it's $5 for the tasting, but if you buy a bottle of wine, they take that price off. Now, the first one we went to didn't have any such bargains. They seemed a little pricier. In fact, it was probably the most expensive tasting that we paid for, to be honest with you. It was $18 to taste 10. It was 5 for myself, 5 for my wife. It was $18 for the 10, with no other discounts applied, right? So it did seem a little bit pricey. Their only discount of the day was a Black Friday, so they were offering 30% off of a case. If you bought 12 bottles, you got 30% off, which certainly isn't a bad deal, but we were struggling to find 12 bottles. We were having to duplicate some, so we decided to pass and not do that at that moment and hit the second one. Whereas, again, theirs were $5 for the tasting. But once we bought a bottle, they didn't charge you for the tasting, just for the bottle. So my wife picked out a bottle and I picked out a bottle. That's how that one worked. St. James tastings, they typically have 2. You can do a self-guided. It's $8, and then you go sit down, or they do it for you. They're $8, and you keep the glass, which isn't bad. I like when they let you keep the glass. I really do. I mean, probably the most. I don't want to use the word affordable. I'm trying to value the best value, I guess. 7 C's. My wife and I, it was $5, so I paid $10. We each tried 12 wines. Tried 12 wines, cost $10, and we got to keep the glass. So that one was probably the most affordable. The first one we tried was Keltoy, north of Joplin, and I honestly can't remember how much that one was. But that one was enjoyable just because of the atmosphere. It was just so relaxed. I think we bought 5 or 6 bottles from them just because we were having such a good time there. Just relaxing. We tried another one there, and I'm not going to mention the name because it wasn't a good experience all around. So far, out of the 11, we've only had one that was a clinker, though. My nose keeps wanting to run on me. And then back in September, we hit 5. We hit Belmont, Peaceful Bend. We didn't buy anything from Peaceful Bend, but we did have a nice time there. I bought 2 bottles from Belmont, and then there was Prairie Barn. We bought a couple bottles. Well, we bought 2 bottles to take home. We bought 1 bottle there. Prairie Barn's got this neat deal where they have this bucket, right? It's a little bit more than just buying the bottle of wine. I think if I remember right, it's about $10 more than just buying the bottle of wine. But you get a package of cheese, you get a package of some sort of meat, summer sausage of the like, and some crackers. So we did that. So we sat up there on their deck, and it was a beautiful day. Yeah. I had some cheese and crackers and wine. It was beautiful, man. My wife discovered the wine slushy there. So anyway, Merrimack we had hit, and then we had a nice time there. Food was excellent. And then St. James, of course. And then we found 2 a little bit closer. The 7 Seas that I mentioned was about 45 minutes away, and then there was Tyler Ridge about 25 minutes away from us. We caught them on their last weekend open for the season. Their season runs from May through October. And we caught them on their very last weekend. I was glad we did, though. I really enjoyed them. I did. The owner doing the tastings was very friendly. They let you taste everything without a cost. They don't give you a lot, but you get a nice tasting. We ended up buying 2 bottles. My wife didn't find anything sweet enough for her there at that particular time, but we'll try again next year. Her palate may have changed between now and then. But I found 2 that I really like, so I did buy 2 bottles there. And then we went from Tyler Ridge to that 7 Seas that I mentioned earlier, and we bought, gosh, I don't know how many bottles we bought there. I think we bought 6 bottles. We bought a lot, man. We bought about more than that. Yeah, we had a good time there. We caught them at a time where they weren't busy. It's a husband and wife that own the place, so they kind of took their time. We were able to just kind of relax and enjoy everything. So anyway, St. James, Norton estate grown. I'm becoming a big fan of the Norton. It is the state grape of Missouri. But I really am enjoying the full-bodied red. Like I said, I could probably go into the store and buy something similar. It may even be a little bit less, but I do enjoy buying, from the smaller wineries, just as I enjoy buying from the smaller craft breweries. So I'm trying to come at it from the same perspective that I approach beer. Anyway, I am, who I am. I'm going to skip right to the end and say all around good guy, and cheers.